Hello everyone and a warm welcome to everyone on this channel CA Sansar. I thank Mr. Vivek sir to give me this opportunity to present myself on this channel. Today's topic for us is insolvency professional and as you know we are going to get all the answers that are mentioned here. Who can become a insolvency professional? The eligibility criteria for becoming an insolvency professional. Why to choose this career? And is there any scope? What after insolvency professional? What is the knowledge required? And what would be the scope of work? Let's begin this session. What are the eligibility factors for enrolling yourself on into this course of insolvency professional? See, you should be a minor first. The age should have crossed 18 years of age. You should be a resident of India. You should have that qualification and experience required in this regulation that we would discuss in the next slide. There should be no conviction by court, and if there is any conviction, it should not have exceeded 6 months. And the period or the day when you were imprisoned, if there was any imprisonment by chance, then it should have crossed 5 years of that period, and after that only you would be eligible to get yourself registered. And also it says that in previous years you should not have exceeded 7 years of imprisonment if there was any such case. So there should be no conviction of court in short you can say. Then he must not be insolvent and not have applied for insolvency. He should be of sound mind. Here a fit person says IBBI has clarified what is a fit person. He should be of integrity, reputation, and character. There should be absence of convictions and restraint orders. There should be competence, including financial solvency and net worth. Yes, you should be competent to get yourself enrolled in this role. So here we start our session. It says like how to become an insolvency professional. There are three options to enter into this field. Option one is limited insolvency examination (LIE). Option two is graduate insolvency program route. It is GIP. And there is also a third option. It says national insolvency program. But I have not covered it here because it is not yet registered. The IBBI has not executed that program yet. So it is yet to come. Currently we have only two options to enter into this field. So LIE says there is a specific requirement eligibility given in the act. It says 15 years of experience in management position. So if you are graduate and you are working somewhere as in underemployment, you should have 15 years of experience in management, okay? Or else you should have 10 years of experience as a chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary or an advocate. So these two are mandatories if you want to appear for LIE. So it says 10 years of experience, but even then, if you have 9 years of experience in these fields and you have worked for it, then you can definitely go for this exam and appear for it. So by the time you clear it, you would be completing 10 years and you can join this course and register yourself. The option two is graduate insolvency program route. It is a direct entry and you need not get any experience for that. So no need of experience, but there is a limitation. Like it says that applicant should be of age below 28 years, right? So there is no experience required, but you should be of the age below 28 years. So any CA, any graduation like BTech also can enter in this field. Commerce, finance, economics, management, insolvency, or in any, if you have done any graduation, I'm saying graduation and not diploma or any other course like that, but you have done graduation, you can enter for this. You can get yourself registered for this course. So we will see in details like what is these examinations, both the type of examinations and how to proceed further. So once you are applying for limited insolvency examination route and you have that experience and you are eligible for applying it, so you clear that exam. The attempts available are unlimited and fees for each attempt is 1500, and it is an objective type examination only, but there is a negative marking. So on every 1 mark, 0.25 marks would be negatively deducted if you give a wrong answer. So you have to secure 60 marks, 60 percentage to clear that exam. Once you are clearing LIE, you need to give a PREC. PREC is what? Pre-registration educational course. So fees for exam would be rupees 50,000 around, but it is very necessary. Like how in after clearing chartered accountancy we do GMCS. So it is somewhat similar like that. You need to complete PREC for getting yourself registered in this profession. So once you clear prec, once you are like you have passed LIE, once you clear prec, you need to enroll yourself as IP, like as a professional member with IPA. It is Insolvency Professional Agency. So enroll yourself with IPA as well as get yourself registered with IBBI, Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India. So you get yourself registered with these as an insolvency professional. So you are through with it. And second option to enter into this profession is graduate insolvency program route. So you need not wait for 10 years or 15 years of getting experience. There is a direct entry available through this route. It says eligible candidates who meet the criteria. That means if you are graduate, come join us, register with the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, clear GIPSET examination. GIPSET is somewhat similar to CAT. CAT, how we appear for it for MBA. So it is GIPSET. Appear for group discussion and personal interviews. Once you clear GIPSET, you need to appear for group discussions and personal interviews. Get shortlisted on the basis of your score. So you would be shortlisted and would be called for further process. So further process is once you clear GIPSET, you need to do and enroll yourself for 2 years course of this profession. So 1 year would be residential program for training and theory. So and the second year would be industrial training under the IP. So they would give you domain knowledge, what it is, what is the insolvency profession, and how you have to act ahead. So after understanding all these exam rules and how you can enter into this profession, you need to also understand if is there any career opportunity in this profession. So if you are a chartered accountant and you are thinking of joining insolvency professional course, so is it a good option for you? So yes, any advocate, any CS, any chartered accountant, cost accountant, also any graduate can think of entering this job because they have given indirect entry as well as direct entry options, as you said. So career opportunities are you can practice as an insolvency professional. So you can do practice or you can serve anyone, right? So there are advisors available, law advisors like ENY, Big Fours. So Grant Horton is there. So these are the advisory firms to whom you can serve, you can give your services. And also there are insolvency professional entities, employment if you see, there are insolvency professional entities, IPE. Who are those? The insolvency professionals get together and form a group to serve the insolvency cases. So when there is a group, when there is a large involvement, large companies involvement in insolvency, or there is any such high level cases involved, then IPEs do their best job. So there are IPEs, there are law firms, advisory firms, banks or institutions can also approach you for their work. And there are overseas opportunities also, because overseas opportunities are there because Insolvency Act was already enacted in another countries. So it's not like in India first time it is happening, but in another countries it's already there. And if you don't want to serve anyone, you can practice as an IP, like how we in profession do. You can become resolution professional, you can become interim resolution professional, you can become a liquidator, you can become a bankruptcy trustee. So what are these? When you study the act, you would understand that IP is required for the whole insolvency process. So once if the creditors or the bankers who charge a company with this under this section, then they need to appoint an insolvency professional to take that case forward. So there is a large scope in this profession, and definitely you can try. Objective and work angle of IP. You can say scope work of IP. What objective, with what objective you have to start this business or start this practice. So first you have to see that the business which you are taking over has to keep going. So see that the business is kept going in order to preserve the economic value. And when you calculate, when you present yourself, when you are done with all the calculations, like if there the restructuring of the business possible, you have a resolution plan. If you see that there are no calculations possible and this business has to stop, otherwise it will go more into bankruptcy, then you have to take that decision and immediately bring that company into liquidation. So what is the process? You have to sell those assets of the person who owes money, collect money from the debtors, collate, verify, admit creditors claim, distribute the money collected after paying cost. So that is all liquidation process you have to do. So these are the main objectives and work profile, you can say. But then good insolvency professional is who has a practical knowledge of company law, insolvency law, taxation, banking, finance, stakeholder management. You have to speak with the stakeholders. You have to see what is their concern. Why are they involving in these, insolvency processes instead of resolving it outside? So you have to convince them. You should have that negotiation skills to, uh, wind up all these. Cash flow management, yes, you have to solely handle that cash. Then valuation, sale of assets, yes, you should be master in selling the assets at the best price. Commercials and business, yes. So you should have that practical knowledge of how that business is working. So during audits or during that experience, that is why they're asking for 10 or 15 years of experience in any profession. So you should have that experience in that field to take it over. So these are the practical knowledges that you should have to be a good insolvency professional, and you would be have able to market that easily. So, anyways, these are the FAQs for this profession. Before starting with the FAQs, I would like to tell you that if you are thinking for this profession, then please go for it. It would add a feather to your cap because it is a very challenging job. If you are a youngster and you are thinking to increase your practice, please go for it. You would have mastery of all the laws. Also, you would be able to enhance your business skills. So you can do both, with the service you are giving the service and you're running the business also. So it's a good opportunity. So I just thought to share these FAQs which were listed on the IBBI website. Just if there are some questions regarding this, so those would be answered through these answers. Okay, so I'll just quickly refer these. Only individuals are eligible to become an IP. Okay, so if you are a firm, if you are a company, so you cannot apply or get registered under insolvency professional. Only individuals are eligible. And if you are thinking like where would I get the syllabus format and what are the qualifying marks, so please visit www.ibbi.gov.in and all answers regarding your queries would be served there. So everything regarding examination pattern, syllabus, and what other opportunities are available, everything is mentioned there. At present, there are following agencies are registered as an IPA. Yes. So as we understood that after clearing those exams of insolvency professional, you have to get yourself registered with IPA. So what are the IPAs available? There are three IPAs. Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICA, and similarly ICSI, and similarly CMA. So cost accountants. So there are three IPAs registered with whom you can get your registry done. So there is no restriction on any individual for selection for any particular IPA for enrollment. So if you say you are an advocate and you want to get yourself registered as an IPA after clearing the exams, and you have any doubt like with whom should I register, so there is no restriction. You can go to any institute, give your marks and everything, you can get yourself registered. There is no restriction. And last important thing is, see, after getting this insolvency professional registration certificate, and after getting yourself registered with IBBI, you need to get authorization for assignments also. So if you want assignments in your field, if you want assignments for insolvency professionals, so if you want banks to select you, you need to first get yourself authorized for assignments. So what is it? I would read it. It means an authorization to undertake an assignment under the code, and as such it does not prohibit an IP to pursue his other professions, provided he adheres to the code of conduct applicable to the IPs. Okay, you have to adhere to the code of conduct that is applicable to IPs, and you can simultaneously follow your other professions. But I would tell you, it is a very challenging job. So once you are doing an insolvency professional role in like and hired by any company, so it would be very difficult to do another job simultaneously. But then it is a good opportunity. There is no pay decided or fixed in the institute's act, or anywhere it is not mentioned. But then it is a good role. It is a role that involves too much knowledge, okay, too much practicability, and how you are able to manage the team, manage the COC team, manage the bankers, manage the stakeholders along with it. So how you are going to club everything and face the duties, so it is very important role. And yes, you are going to get a good pay for it. And also there is an age limit of 70 years for obtaining authorization of assignment. So you can get work only if you have AFAs, and AFA can be obtained only if you are below 70 years. Okay, so that was the age limit. Otherwise, there is no other restriction. You can enroll yourself for this. And if you have any questions, like if this is a very new profession, the act is only 5 years old. It was introduced in 2016. So earlier than that, there were insolvency acts like Surfacy Act and others, but then those are not that successful, and that were those used to take too long period to close the resolve the issues. And after insolvency and bankruptcy act has come into picture, this the insolvency whole process after clearing and after if it is going into liquidation or if it is resolving itself, then also it has to complete every procedure before, like completing 270 days after entering into the jurisdiction. So you can say that it is around 270 days, whole picture is going to get closed. So after introducing this, after this act has come into action, the period of businesses who want to exit from this market, they are very much, they are very much happy because there is a freedom to exit. So there is an act who is giving on own also, if you want to go into insolvency you can do that. So they have got a way to exit from this whole market if we are not able to survive. So, anyways, everyone is happy here. So, demand for resolution professionals is going to increase, and definitely it's going to increase because whenever there is a capital formation, see, currently because of this COVID situation, the banks are very much free and very much they are reducing the restrictions to give the loans. So, there is a capital formation in the market. Whenever there is capital formation, there are so many businesses, small businesses that are going to nurture. So, when they are nurturing, there are some businesses who because of competitive market they won't be able to survive and they have to follow this process, and for following this process they would need insolvency professionals, and when we are updated and we are in the market we would be able to capture that market, right? So yes, definitely there is a scope. And by this I end up this session. Okay, and if you have any query, and if you want me to answer anything other than this for insolvency professional, kindly please put it in the comments below. Okay, and whatever would be the comment we would be ready to answer. And please subscribe to this channel, CA Sansar. It is doing a wonderful job, and it's going and giving an opportunity to so many professionals to start their career, and giving a very wonderful information here. Thank you.